from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners or viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Ministry of Education Natal, and it is indeed a pleasure for me to be here this morning. Of course, we know that we are well on our way. This is the first Saturday of the month of May. And so we have a few updates, and with the month of May often comes several activities, and we want to take some time out to highlight some of the upcoming activities for this month. At some point later on, after I've highlighted the activities which are afoot, I will spend some time also making sure that we're all focused on this term and what the expectations are for the term. We know that during the third term there are several assessments going on, and so we want to make sure that our parents, our children are up to speed and making sure that they're focused and ready to finish out the school year in a very, very strong way. Before that, though, I want to say congratulations to the Charlestown Secondary School. They hosted the launch of their 75th anniversary celebrations, the official launch, and that was held on Friday at the Charlestown Secondary School. And the theme for the 75th anniversary is 75 years of excellence, honoring the past, inspiring the future. 75 years of excellence, honoring the past, inspiring the future. And so I want to congratulate the current principal, staff, and students of the Charlestown Secondary School, but also to ensure that we spend some time spotlighting all of those who contributed over the years to the development of the school. 75 years is no small feat, and so we want to say congratulations to the Charlestown Secondary School for going 75 years strong. Now, there are several activities afoot as well for the Charlestown Secondary School, and they started the celebrations with the display. There was a display last month, and so that was the start of the celebration activities, and as I said, they will continue through for the rest of this year. I know that it is wise to spread things across, to spread the anniversary celebration activities across the year, especially when you have your milestone anniversaries. And so they will have various activities happening over the next few months. And we ask the public to support the Charlestown Secondary School. Those who are alums of the school know that you can donate, and one of the things that we always encourage is to do the keepsake donation, or the donation of that represents the milestone year. And so if you want to give a $75 donation, that would be, I know, well received from this school. Okay, so make sure that you support the Charlestown Secondary School in their various activities. You support the school in any way that you can. We will also have they also have available, the anniversary pin. They have a pin that is commemorative, and so they are asking for your support there as well. So if you were a former student of the school, feel free to purchase one of those pins and support the school as well. The school will also have their anniversary gala, which will take place on June 21st, and that's in a little over a month at the on June 21st, and we will await the official information. I don't want to preempt by sharing, and that's why I paused. So when you look out for the anniversary flyer information, and then you can go on out and support all of those activities. In the meantime, get your very best outfit ready, your dinner gala outfit ready, and go on out and support the Charlestown Secondary School in the anniversary celebrations. They'll also have the Merrill Cabin Invitational. That's an athletic event, and other activities happening throughout the course of their anniversary celebration. So Charlestown Secondary School going 75 years strong. We also know that we spent some time over the past few weeks highlighting the Stepping Stone Nursery. They had their official 35th birthday on Thursday, May 1st, and so Stepping Stone, after the anniversary parade and all of the other activities, yesterday they had the sports fun day at the Phase 1 grounds, and yesterday was the final day, listeners and viewers, for the Stepping Stone Nursery Cocktail and Awards Gala ticket early bird special tickets. However, tickets are still on sale, and the tickets now cost $135 per person, $235 per couple, and you're encouraged to dress elegantly, and it is being held under the patronage of founder Mrs. Leonie Patricia Descent. That's on May 10th. So that's 7 days away. 1 week from today is the scheduled date from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And so we're spotlighting that activity this morning as Stepping Stone continues to celebrate their 35th anniversary. And so the cocktail gala and awards ceremony will take place, is scheduled for May 10th, next Saturday, at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And the tickets, once again, $135 per person. If you're going as a couple, the cost is $235. So it's a good idea. You save $35 if you go as a couple. And so I think that's a big saving, and it's for a big deal. Going 35 years is not a small feat, as I just said with the 75th anniversary. Usually when you navigate the 5th anniversary, then the 10th anniversary, you get to 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and 70. You really have your roots grounded in the community, and so we ask that you go out to support those endeavors as well. We know that as they continue their anniversary, they are looking at the graduation send-off for the class of 2025 on Saturday, 12th July, and that will be at Montpelier Hotel. And Montpelier Hotel is where the first graduating class had their send-off 35 years ago. So it's almost like a throwback activity reminiscent of the start. Then the island tour will take place on Saturday, 9th August from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then there will be a talent extravaganza and magazine launch on November 1st. And the culminating activity for those celebrations would be on the 19th of December with a staff holiday appreciation dinner. So, commendations to both entities, both institutions, celebrating milestone years this year, and we say all the best to you. We encourage the public to continue to support you as you continue to contribute significantly to the development of our children and, of course, of our island, federation, and world. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back.
From Queen City, Nevis, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, Vaughn Radio.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know, we're gonna have a great time. And now it passes quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. gears, let's gather round, an adventure is always waiting. The storytelling needs for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go.
All right, let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners or viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Ministry of Education, ETAL, and of course it is a pleasure to be here with all of you this morning. I hope that you are all doing well, and I've been sharing some updates, activities which are happening within our spaces and for the edification of our students, our children, our young people. And I will continue to share some because we have quite a few things afoot, as I said at the beginning, and I wanted to make sure that we are up to speed. All right, so applications are currently open for the 35th anniversary. So it seems like this year is a big year, a big anniversary year. The 35th anniversary of the Summer Library Program. I think many persons can reflect on their interactions and engagements with the Summer Library Program, whether it be from the parent perspective, where you used to take your child over the years, or as a child who used to attend and now your children are attending, and those various perspectives. And so the application process opened this week. It opened on the 1st of May, and it will go for a full month. So it will go from May 1st to 31st, 2025. Now, the Summer Library Program, as I said, has always been a big deal. It's been a staple in our community as well, and parents look forward to it. This year, there will be 3 weeks of engagement, of fun, of interaction. In week 1, we will see from July 14th to 18th, 2025, we'll have those persons, those children between the ages of 13 and 16. Ages 9 to 12, they're in week 2 of the program. That's from July 21st to 25th. Then in week 3 of the program, we'll see the 5 to 8 year olds, and those engagements will be from July 28th to August 1st. So let me run you through them again so that you can position yourselves and determine which week your child or children should be in attendance. So we have and because of the need to ensure that we have enough persons, enough spaces to have all of the age groups engaged, from July 14th to 18th, we're looking for the 13 to 16 year olds, those who are in high schools. The activities planned for you are very exciting, and the parents, we know that the teenagers sometimes are a little reluctant to get out the door, so we're assuring you that we have engagements for them, appropriate engagements that would not have them at home sleeping in forever and also remaining on their devices all day. But we have a week of engagement through the Nevis Public Library from the 14th to the 18th of July. Then the 9 to 12 year olds would go from the 21st to the 25th of July, and we'll wrap up with the 5 to 8 year olds from July 28th to August 1st. So that's what the activities and the calendar for the Summer Library Program looks like. A 3-week program under the theme Education and Fun, 35 years strong. And as I said, that is an understatement because it's more than strong, if we could find the word to describe the level of the foundation and the presence that the library program has had for us as young people growing up on Nevis. The venue would be the Nevis Public Library, and the registration fee is $50, and it should be paid upon registration. For more information, please call the Nevis Public Library 469-5521, extension 6862, and any of the wonderful ladies there at the library will be more than willing and able to assist you. We also have, starting this week, the prospective teachers course application process will be officially open, and the information for this activity is currently available. And if you have any questions outside of what I will share with you this morning, please feel free to reach out to the Department of Education, and they will be more than happy to share information with you. So interested persons who are interested in pursuing a career in teaching, you're asked to note that the prospective teachers course the application period opens on May 6th, and it runs from May 6th through 16th, 2025. You are expected to have the following minimum qualifications in order to apply, and these are academic qualifications, and a minimum of 5 CXC CSEC subjects at the general proficiency, grades 1, 2, or 3, or a minimum of 5 GCE O-level passes, and that would be your minimum entry requirement. The acceptable grade passes for CAPE are grades 1 through 5, and the required subjects, because I know that sometimes people might say, well, I have 5 subjects, so perhaps I can come, but the required subjects: English A, mathematics, social studies, history or geography, so you have to have a social science, a science such as integrated science, human and social biology, agriculture or natural science, and 1 additional subject. The course date from June 16th to June 27th. Application packets can be collected from the Department of Education in Marion Heights between 8:30 and 4 p.m. from Monday to Friday during that time period. Note that the cutoff time for the applications to be received would be 12 noon on May 16th, and that's something very important to note. 12 noon on May 16th. If you need more information, you can reach out via email at education.department@nia.gov.kn.com or 1-869-469-5521 extension 5080, or you can follow on the Department of Education Nevis's Facebook page. Remember, and I like to talk a little bit about the application process and the expectations, and when it comes to education and the zeal to interact and engage with children, it's always important to note that outside of your qualifications, your academic qualifications, one of the things that I personally always recommend, and it is best for a space, is that you actually have to have a zeal for helping others, for children. Children can really test us. It's part of their developmental trajectory. Sometimes they can test us. They can test our patience and our ability to remain calm, and we have to make sure that it is something that we have a vested interest in. Teaching should never be something that we do simply for a paycheck. Teaching should be something that we do more out of passion, and we always encourage persons to make sure that when you get there, when you get to the space, if you're selected because of something that came out, that we saw the potential, that you continue to deliver, and that you understand that education and teaching is a lifelong learning process, so you don't ever know enough. I know that one of our age-old things that our teachers back in yesteryear used to say, some things like, I already learned, so it's up to you if you want to learn or not, and that type of things. No, I don't think that any of us have learned everything. You might have learned that particular bit of content, and so as you are thinking about whether or not you want to go into coming to this profession or pursue a path in education, please be mindful that I think teaching, and it is a saying that is often tossed around, and I really firmly believe it, that teaching is a work of heart, because your heart has to be in it in order for you to be effective and for you to have the level of emotional intelligence needed to be able to succeed. And so as you contemplate, as I said, think about it and know that it's something that you should be doing from your heart, to be able to, coupled with all of the other characteristics and qualities and academics that will be required, professionalism and all of the other things that will be required of you, that you really do it because you have a valid interest, a vested interest in our students. And for some of us, what propels us would be the interactions and engagements that we had even within our own setting as students. We've all faced various challenges as students, and we all have those teachers who we aspire to be like, and we all have those teachers who would say, because of this person, I want to teach to show children that there's a better or different way or approach. So we have those who we want to aspire to be like, and we have those who we may not have liked some of their characteristics and qualities displayed, and we want to be able to make a difference. And so all of those things, as I said, are important as you navigate the space and try to make the decision as to whether or not you are going to pursue the teaching as a career, or attempt to pursue teaching as a career. Know that attendance at the course does not mean that you will be employed. The course helps you to get a general understanding of the system, what is expected, and some core areas that you need to be exposed to ahead of the of being hired. If you are hired, then we have the induction program, which runs for a year, and it allows you to continue to navigate the space and learn as you go along. So the course date itself is June 16th to 27th, June 16th through June 27th. Those are the course dates, and we want to make sure that we have that penciled in, because for those persons, and there's some persons who transition from the workspace into, or another workspace into education, and you may need the time to maybe take your vacation or to prepare for that time frame. So June 16th to 27th, those are the dates that you'll actually have to be in session. So go on out, and I know that we will get some exceptional applicants who would not only wow the facilitators and the organizers, but also will make a big difference in the classrooms across the island come September. So we encourage you to be part of that, and we are going to take a short break. When we come back, I'll share some other updates with you before we go into the conversation about the end of term exams.
When VON vibrates, the whole Caribbean must shake.
8:60 a.m. The Powerhouse.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab the gators, let's gather around, and adventure is always waiting. The storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Von Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Von Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton from the Ministry of Education Etal. It is indeed a pleasure for me to be here this morning. I must take a slight pause for a cause, because I want to make sure that at the beginning of the show I intended to, and somehow I inadvertently missed out on it. But we came back from an inaugural competition on Tuesday evening. Very, very, very proud of our students here on Nevis. The St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank had the inaugural Youth Voices panel, and it was in collaboration with the Ministries of Education on St. Kitts and on Nevis, and we had representation from 4 schools on St. Kitts and 2 schools on Nevis. The schools which were represented on Nevis were the Violet O. Jeffers Nichols Primary School and the Ivor Walters Primary School. So there were a total of 6 participants, as I said, and the first round was the prepared speech round, and each student was able to present on a topic. Just a little bit of a background. The competition was held as part of the International Day of Education, and so the theme for the competition was based on the theme for the International Day of Education, which was AI and Education, Preserving Human Agency in a World of Automation, Challenges and Opportunities. And so, as I said, we had the presentations by rounds, and last week I shared those with you. Nevis wasn't represented in round 1, but the topic for round 1, for each round, I'm sorry, was a spin-off from the main theme. So there were several subtopics, and the topic for round 1 was okay, I didn't have round 1, so let me go on to round 2. Round 2 saw Ivor Walters and Sandy Point Primary, and Ivor Walters was represented by Cherise Latouche, and that topic was AI makes learning more interactive. It will truly replace traditional learning methods, allowing learning to be technologically dependent. And the awards which were presented for that round, Desarian Harris had the best prepared statement, while best defense went to Cherise Latouche. And if I may explain what the defense looks like, the students were asked to listen to each other's presentations, and then they were able to pose 2 questions to the person speaking, whether opposing or supporting the point for discussion. So they listened, then they asked each other questions, and they had 45 seconds to prepare their response or to think through a process, and then a minute to respond. Then they, in group 3, we had, the topic was AI can effectively replace the role of human teachers and classmates. Losing real human connections will not negatively affect the quality of learning. And we had Laurencia Berry from the Joshua Obadiah Williams Primary School. She was supporting the topic. Advith Swaminathan from VOJN, he was against the topic. And at the end of the evening, Advith emerged the winner. He had the best prepared speech and the best defense for topic 3. We also note that he was able to walk away with the best speaker award and the best panelist award, and so he at the end of the day walked away with all of those awards, and for the first place award. And Miss Latouche, Cherise Latouche, she walked away with the second place award for best panelist, overall panelist. So we on Nevis were proud. We walked away with we took 2 students, and both students walked away with the first and second place awards. We want to say commendations to Cherise and to Advith to their principals, teachers, parents who were not only there in support on the evening of the and their classmates as well, who were not only there on the evening of the competition, but who also supported them during the entire process from the competition's inception. So commendations to both students and their schools and support systems. And so we continue to encourage persons to support our schools in the various endeavors and activities. And so I think it's a good way to segue into the upcoming 16th annual interscholastic spelling bee competition. So our spelling bee turns 16 this year, Sweet 16, and the competition will be held on Friday, 9th May, this coming Friday, at NEPAC from 9 a.m. The primary school students will be engaged in that spelling bee from 9 a.m. And then from 1 p.m. the secondary school students will engage in their interactions. We are very proud of our students, and just by way of context and background, the spelling bee for the primary schools capture students in grades 3 and 4, and the spelling bee for the secondary schools captures students in forms 1 through 3. So we look forward to bringing the updates to you next weekend. When we join you, we'll be able to tell you who the top spellers were, who the winning schools best overall were, and all of the other awards associated with this spelling bee competition. We wish every team every success in this upcoming spelling bee. We know that you have been working hard, not just around the spelling bee time, but that you've been working hard throughout the school year to prepare for the spelling bee. And so we want you to continue to work, and as you prepare for the last few days leading up to the competition, we wish you, as I said, the very best and every success in these endeavors. We also want to just give a gentle reminder of the ongoing data collection process. As we know, the Adult Education Unit at the Ministry of Education has been somewhat dormant for a time, and we're trying to revitalize and revive the program to ensure that we're providing our adults with the necessary supports for continued success. And so we are looking forward to collecting information and to eventually start the actual adult education program sessions. And so there is a QR code and link circulating, which can be found on the Ministry of Education's Facebook page, the Department of Education's Facebook page, or if you reach out to the Ministry of Education, you can ask for the Adult Education Unit, and you will be able to have that conversation. And so the program will strive over the next few months to encompass activities which will help to improve our adults in various areas, including technical, vocational literacy skills. If they would want to earn a CSEC or CAPE subject over time, whether they need help in supporting or creating small businesses, anything that they need to ensure their success, we would attempt to present activities, present programs, present sessions which will help in those adults who need those particular supports. And so the key features: we're helping any adults of any age who want to learn, grow, and succeed. We're looking to build or improve our skills. We're looking to, and as I said, those skills can be from basic literacy skills to technical and vocational skills, to any type of skills that we're looking for. We're looking for job readiness and career skills, because sometimes, even though we are adults, we have some challenges navigating those spaces. We're looking for technology and computer skills, CSEC and CAPE preparation, entrepreneurship and small business support, supporting adult learners. And they just note for those who are interested in the literacy areas, this discrete literacy support to improve reading and writing skills in a comfortable way. I know that there are some who may struggle with literacy challenges and may worry about exposing the fact that they have challenges as adults. And so that is one feature. We want you to know that for those who reach out and indicate and apply for programs in basic literacy, that the intention is to keep this part of the program very discreet, to support you to improve those reading and writing skills. As I said, in a discreet, non-judgmental environment, and there will be also life skills there for those who want to learn small things, how to effectively create and use an email, mobile smartphones, mobile banking, and other areas that would help you to be functional. We want all of our adults, just as much as we want our children, to be successful navigating the spaces, and sometimes some of the gaps developed over the years, and we want to make sure that we continue to provide the various levels of support as a Ministry of Education. So thank you to the many persons who have already given your input. Your input has helped to shape the first phase of the program. We've already reviewed the initial data, and so we will continue to go through to ensure that we are as responsive as possible to the needs of our adult learners, as we try to do the same, as I said before, for our younger learners who are within our systems. So continue, as I said, to stay tuned to our Facebook pages for the schedule for the upcoming activities and sessions. But in the interim, please make sure that you also continue to complete the needs assessment form. And if there's anything at all, that any contribution that you can make, whether it be a recommendation or to avail yourself in any way to assist or support the rollout, once again, please reach out to us at the Ministry of Education, 469-5521, extension 6682, and we'll be able to guide you through from there. All right, so we have, as I said, these major things happening this week, and we want to have your support. Also, in the very, very near future, we will also have, and next week we'll focus a bit more on STEM week, because coming out of Spelling Bee, we go into the STEM activities. So we'll be focused on the STEM week, and then after that, we will be looking at the 40th anniversary of Child Month. Child Month will be celebrating 40 years of having this activity. As I said, it seems to be a big year. So it will be 40 years of Child Month happening for the month of June. We know that we celebrate our children here during the month of June across the Federation. And so we will have Child Month turns 40 in June. We will share the information as it relates to the calendar, the expectations, but I can tell you this much: it promises to be an exciting time, and it's exciting engagements, and so we encourage all of you to come on board to support the various activities which will be happening during Child Month 2025 as we celebrate the 40th anniversary of this activity. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we will hone in on the end of year preparations.
Sugar City St. Kitts, keep it sweet. Keep listening to Vaughn.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's you on the go. You on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, you on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab navigators, let's gather round, and adventure is always waiting. This storytelling means for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa. Let's start the show. Youth on the go. Whoa. Let's start the show. Whoa. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Welcome back to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughan Radio. I am Zahnela Claxton, and I'm from the Ministry of Education ETAL here on Nevis. And as I said, it is indeed a pleasure for me to be here with you this morning. We have this time of year, as we know, once we navigate into November, we start to November. My brain went on a big jump there. As we navigate into the month of May, we go into our various examinations, starting with our overseas exams. And so our students started their CXC examinations, and we want to commend them for those who have finished and those who are preparing. Continue. Students, we know that this time sometimes it will get very tough to stay focused and to make sure that you're preparing. Some days you will feel a bit overwhelmed, but I can promise you this: it is a very short time frame. Give it your all. You have, over the last few years, that for our in-school students, you have for the last few years gotten the opportunities to learn a lot of this content in different spaces and areas. We think about it as you sit down to work through your responses. I'm sure that you can, and if you are focused in school and in different engagements, you will see instances where you can apply some of the information and transfer some of the information, even on questions that seem difficult. And so we're encouraging you to be focused for the next 2 months or so, month and a half, 2 months, just to make sure that you give your very best. At the end of the day, this is the chance that you have to close out your secondary or sixth form journey in the best way possible. We also have some adults who are taking their examinations privately, and we want to encourage you, just as we are encouraging the students, to give your very best in this in the exams. We know that for various reasons you might be retaking or taking for the first time, and we want to encourage you. The fact that you have registered, the fact that you are on this particular journey, means that you are trying to improve yourself, either towards a particular purpose or a specific purpose, or knowing that you just want better for yourself. And so we commend you, we applaud you for taking those steps towards continued success. As I said, we would have the CCXC suite, the CSEC, CAPE, and CCSLC exams happening over the next few weeks. We will also see the internal examinations happening at our various schools, the common exams at the secondary level. We'll have the end of year exams happening across from kindergarten straight through to Form 4. We'll have some form of end of year examination happening, and whatever form that takes, it's pretty much the end of year exams are review assessments that should capture what the students covered during the course of the year. And so we say to you, our students, as I said, keep focused and make sure that you get the job done. In addition to that, we also want to take this opportunity, as we do every year, to have the candid conversations with parents as well. At this time of year, we ask for your support. We crave your support, and your children crave your support as they navigate the examination period. I often compare the support that we see in various types of events, and so the level of support that we saw in term 1 for football, the level of support we saw in term 2 for track and field, we know that you will be out there supporting. And the interesting thing about the academic support is that it's not as public, and so persons may not see you, But we know that, we wanted to know that the children crave your support in the same way that we have been demonstrating it throughout the year. So that is the reason for that analogy. We know, as I said, there's some supports are much more public based on the type of activity, but we want you to support the students to the very end of the 2024-2025 academic year. How can you provide those supports? And some of us might say, I don't have the innate skills, I don't have the skills within me to do it. This is, some of the content and concepts are above me. Sometimes it seems difficult. The ways that you can support are and that have the most meaning are sometimes in the simplest acts. Trying to ensure that your children have something to eat for breakfast. That is a big way to support. A lot of children, especially when they get to high school, and sometimes it's by choice, they say that they're not going to have breakfast. I'm not eating breakfast. But breakfast is an important meal, and the students need to eat, especially those going into an examination room, but even for their general everyday going to school, they need to have something to eat. And so please make sure that they don't stay in bed so late in the morning that they have to just rush out and get to school, but that you have the structures in place in your homes to get them something to eat before they get started on the day. That is something, as I said, very, very small, but very, very significant. Those who have to sit through examinations for 2.5 hours, 3 hours, they need to have the energy to keep going as well. So parents, that is one way that you can provide support. Another way is to just have your structure within your home. That means that there are set bedtimes, set wake up times. You're expected to be in bed, and we speak about this at the beginning of the school year by their age appropriate times, cutoff times for going to bed. Sometimes at the more advanced levels, the end of high school into sixth form, they may have to go a bit later if they have something to finish, but by within certain age ranges, you have to make sure they go to bed. We have preschoolers and kindergartners and students in grade 1 and grade 2 who are going to bed at 10 and 11 and midnight, and their bodies are not getting enough rest. So how can you help a student who's doing exams? How can you help a student to be successful in school? Ensure that you create a routine that they are in bed by a certain time. Parents, I would say 9 for those who are sitting an exam, latest 10, they should be asleep so that they can get up, especially if their exam is at 9 a.m. They need to be able to get up and get to the center on time. We want them to also know, I want you to also know that as you guide children through, because they are children, even the older ones, sometimes we forget, they are children. We want you to guide them through this. That we don't want them to spend the night before the exam cramming for hours and hours on end till the morning, and so to give their brain the ability to reset and to be able to focus effectively, combined with a nice breakfast in the morning, they should be able to do much better if they get some rest. As I said, those are basic things that do not require any necessarily a special skill, but parents, these are things that are also very significant. We also encourage you to sometimes just be with them, and I know that it's difficult, especially in homes where parents are engaged in multiple jobs, but sometimes if you don't know the content, just working along with them or being there in the space with them to help them to remain focused, to minimize their time on the phone, because in the absence of adult supervision, sometimes they end up on the phone a lot and not focused. So they might be quote unquote studying for 5 hours, but they actually are only looking in the book for 2 hours because they are constantly distracted by something that's happening on Instagram, something on TikTok, and because the phones are almost an appendage for most of our children, they constantly have to seem to have it in their hand and be navigating those spaces. So parental presence is also very important. For those of us who, I know parents who don't know the content knowledge, don't have the content knowledge, but some of them take the notebook and they write out the questions based on what is in the notebook, or they rewrite questions. For example, some of us are not strong in math, but in math the student had a question, the teacher had already graded the assignment, so you have the feedback and you write the same questions back on a paper and have them fill them out in preparation for the assessment. Those are things that can help even for those who may feel that they do not have the skills to help their children to navigate. And then we are still, I would dare say, we are still a community, and so in instances when we need support and assistance, I'm hoping that we have our church communities, that we have our physical communities, our villages, persons we know who could guide us, help us, and support us as we do the same for our children. And I think one of the areas that we overlook sometimes is attempting to have a conversations with teachers, with the schools, can also prove to be very, very useful. And so we're encouraging you to have those conversations, to ask and find out from your teachers, how can you help, how can you support your children through the next couple of months until we get to, I think, the July 11th or 12th, when the school year ends. So there are several things that we can do to support our children. Minimizing their sugar intake. We know that sugar makes them extremely hyper, but we also know that sugar makes them extremely lethargic. So if they have too much sugar in their system, they're probably going to be hype for a while, fidgety, squirmy, and then oftentimes they have a big drop in their energy level, and then they become very lethargic. So monitoring what they eat and food, there is a correlation between food intake and performance and the ability for students to focus. And so if we can provide the snacks, and if they have the sugars that we promote would be the natural sugars which can be found in our fruits, and so we would promote, if students can have some of the natural sugars, we would promote them eating fruits as far as possible. I know parents complain that children don't like fruits, but once again, we want to encourage you to create a culture and space which encourages students to eat at least one fruit during the course of the school day. So those are small things as we navigate, and each school will give you the schedule for their assessments closer to the time. Some of you already have those because you've had your PTA meetings. If not, you can look forward to getting the schedules within short order, but until then you can start preparing, reviewing content from term 1 and term 2, and getting your children to settle and focus. We thank you all for being partners in education. We cannot do any of this without you, and so we thank you for your continued partnership. As we enjoy the holiday on Monday, we wish you a very successful week, and we can't wait to meet up with you again next week when we'll be able to share some key updates and other information with you. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful week.